The journey of salvation is a journey that has been so misunderstood by so many people, including believers, for a very long period of time. You know, in the world we're living in, so many people seem to have given up on God, given up on their faith, given up on praying. For they do not seem to understand how God has not answered their prayers, you know, after all the fasting and praying and all the times attended the church services. Most people have been conditioned to believe that once you become born again, everything changes and life becomes a smooth bed of roses. Now, what these people fail to understand is that once you get saved, you have just signed yourself into a long and fierce battle with the enemy. Welcome to my today's teaching. My name is JC Lashkar, and today I want to quickly talk about ways that God uses to prepare his people into their purposes and into their destinies. How exactly does God work? You know, there are so many Christians in the times we are living in that have given up their hope. They have completely given up hope because they have failed to understand how this journey of salvation seems to work. Some have been made to believe that after getting saved and after attending a few church services, everything will automatically fall into place. Salvation is a spiritual introduction to the ways of God and the ways of the kingdom that requires full commitment and time for a believer to be transformed from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of light. This process is different for everyone depending on why God has called them and also depending on the assignments. The higher your calling into your purpose, the longer the time it will take to prepare you. And I can guarantee you that this process, it can never be rushed or executed prematurely. No matter how many times you attend the church services, no matter how many times you pray and fast. It is written in the book of Ecclesiastes that there is time and season for everything under the sun. This law applies to every activity in this world. Some people will try and manipulate the process by different ways, but I can guarantee you that it never ends well. People have no idea how much work needs to be done spiritually for a human being to really be transformed from one spiritual state to the other. It is a full-time job. It is a long, slow, and painful process that even God himself compared to the gold that has to go through fire to totally be refined and purified. Come to think about it, the mind must be transformed, the flesh must be crucified, the spirit must be renewed, and so on and so forth. This is not something that God can do in a day or in a month. It is a spiritual construction that takes time and real commitment. You know, I have seen people who do not understand the dynamics of salvation. You know, they get into salvation very excited after their pastors promised them, you know, prosperity and these miraculous transformations. And their minds are not prepared for what awaits them. And they think that if they enter into serious seasons of praying and fasting, their lives will change in a week or in a month. Just to realize later on that nothing has changed, even in years. And I'm not saying that this is the case for everyone because, like I said earlier, everything depends on your purpose and your assignments. And I think we need to start telling people the truth, you know, about what to expect in this journey in order to prepare the minds of the believers. Christians have become the most depressed people and the angriest people in this world. And it's not even that difficult to understand why. People go to church after hearing about all these miracle and instant life transformations, just to realize years later that nothing has worked in their life. Nothing has changed. God does not rush while dealing with his people. He follows the process, just like how you plant a seed today. No matter how much you pray over that seed and believe, that seed cannot bear fruits tomorrow. It must go through that process, and the best thing you can do for yourself in the meantime is to have faith and patience that after a certain period of time, when the seed has taken root and fully grown and developed, you will end up reaping a harvest. Ask God to make you strong and to give you strength to endure. Because at the end of it all, it's going to be so worth it. Let nobody deceive you that there's going to be an easy way out of the wilderness. No amount of tithing or giving offering can change the order of this spiritual transformation. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't give tithes or offerings. But be informed today that God must finish the work he started in you in order for you to see the results. In the meantime, you can be assured that he will take care of you. He'll not leave you. He will still take care of you, just like he promised. And by the time he's done doing his work in you, you'll be so grateful that you never gave up. I'm going to stop here for today. And it is my hope that no matter how hard the journey gets, you will not look back. Ephesians 6:9. Let us not get tired of doing that which is good. Because at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. There's a proper time that God is waiting for to bless you. There's a proper time that is coming for God to perform that which he promised in your life. And until then, keep the faith and keep believing. See you next time, and God bless you.